The Gauteng ANC reconvenes its elective conference they never got around to completing. Now this weekend, they'll elect Provincial Executive Members and discuss policy documents. Let's go live now to eNCA's Lindokuhle Xulu to find out more. Thank you very much for your time this morning, Linda. Maybe if you could just explain to us what exactly is set to take place today within the organization when it comes to finalizing those elections of those executive members.
Well, Rafio, I think it's important to just contextualize the fact that the last time when the ANC conference in the province of Gauteng was supposed to start, at first it was marred with delays. There were some people or delegates that had taken the ANC to court. In fact, this is one, Mr. Sithole, who took it to court to interdict it. But also there were issues of the quarantined votes in the region of Ekurhuleni that, invoked an 11th hour meeting of the NEC. The NEC had then decided that the new PEC that would be elected would then be the one to actually sort out those issues of the quarantine votes in Ekurhuleni, and that is some of the things that are delayed as well, because this was to be taken to plenary where the delegates, who are about 1,000, over 1,000, had to adopt that particular adjustment as the credentials. So that also took time. That is why we are here, even though they were able the last time to actually elect the top 5. I can tell you that there were some things that are still outstanding. Some of them that we're expecting will be continuing today. One of them is the fact that they still need to have a full complement as far as the PEC is concerned. They've elected a top 5, but then there needs to be like about 35 people that are going to be additional members of the PEC to have a full complement. That is something that will be beginning here with. We understand that Panyaza Lisufi, the current chairperson, will be giving an update in terms of what happened and what is expected to happen today. And just as I speak, perhaps my colleague can show you some of the delegates have started to arrive here, but we're expecting things to kick off at around 9:30, where we're going to get an update of what is expected to happen, which is the election of the PEC in its full complement. And thereafter, one of the things that the outgoing chairperson David Makura said was that this is not only an elective conference, it also needs to be a festival of ideas, and that is what is going to be focused on after they complete the nomination as well as the election of the new PEC. They'll be looking into issues that are facing South Africans. They'll be looking into issues that are facing those that are living in Gauteng. And some of the things they'll be looking at is also the policies of the ANC. What they'll be doing in that regard is to review some of the policies they've adopted in NASREC in 2017 and actually come up with plans as to how to improve this and make sure that it helps the general public. So those are some of the things that we're expecting to happen in the course of the next 2 days, Rapio.
This is very important, Lindokuhle Xulu, because during the course of the week there were reports that the conference would not happen because the ANC is facing severe financial troubles. Of course, newly elected Secretary General in the province saying this is not true and thinks the ANC is in a good standing. I mean, have you heard anything otherwise in this regard? I suppose finances is something that they will be discussing at ESCOM and other policies that are important within the party. But have you heard anything about their current financial status?
Well, the current financial status of the ANC is not something to be diluted. That is the message we got during the week when they brought us in for the readiness of this particular conference. They are saying that according to the Treasurer's report that was delivered on the 26th of June, that was when the conference was convened, but they are essentially saying that Gauteng is in a good financial state, and that this should not be confused with the fact that salaries, is a struggle for the ANC in Lindokuhle House. They're saying that don't confuse the province with the national. So that is what they basically told us about their finances. But you are right, there is bound to be robust conversations here, and it's not just about the policies of the ANC, such as the step aside and all of that, but it is also about ESCOM. Some of the leaders of the ANC, one of them who accepted nomination of being an additional PEC member after he could not be, of course, the chairperson of this province, that is Lebogang Maile, had an interview with eNCA PCA last week Sunday, and he essentially spoke about some of the things that they believe should happen as far as Eskom is concerned, saying that someone must take responsibility, and in fact it's the ministers that are coming from the party, such as Pravin Gordhan and those that such as Gwede Mantashe, that should actually be saying that, you know, there is some sort of responsibility they are taking. And they've also not minced their words as far as the CEO of Eskom is concerned, saying that he is the one that is at the helm, he's the one that should be taking responsibility for the problems that we are seeing and not just blaming predecessors. So we are expecting that those robust conversations around a varying range of things are going to be taking place here. It is the reason why the chairperson, Panyaza Lisufi, after he adjourned this, he did communicate that one of the things they want to make sure is that they do not complete this particular conference without having those discussions that are going to first take the ANC forward as far as their renewal program is concerned, but secondly, that is not going to address issues that are, you know, important to the people of Gauteng as well as the general public of South Africa. So we are expecting that this conference will swiftly move through the nominations, move through the election of the PEC, and then focus on some of those issues, including the thorny issue of Eskom, the thorny issue of unemployment in Gauteng, the thorny issue of the youth that is embattled by drugs. They also mentioned the issue of migration, which is a problem in one of the metros such as Johannesburg. So those are the things that they'll be discussing here and taking to their national policy conference to ensure that they make an impact as far as Gauteng in its contribution towards their policy conference that is set to take place in a couple of weeks from now.